Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. You already know, this is Don D with Uptown Exotics. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss any future videos. Today, we're going to give you an update on my little girl, Katie. Let's get into it. Well, here she is, my little scavenger. If I can find something to relate Prince to Scavenger, I might change her name, because that's what I had to do. If you remember my post from a couple of weeks ago, when I went to find her and nearly had a heart attack because I couldn't find her, because she was buried, she buried herself up under a ledge under the rock wall. So I had to literally dig out all of the substrate to pull her out. Well, I thought tonight was going to be the same thing, because she wasn't where she normally was. I went in there, I dug around, I used the hook and everything. Nothing came out. So I had to pull all of the stuff out of the enclosure again and find her. She was under a different spot, under a different spot on the wall, in the back of the enclosure, just coiled up, sitting nice and cute and everything, but came right out with no problem. Well, a little bit of problem. She tried to get away, but she's good with the hook. That was one of the first things that I did with her when I first brought her home, was trained her with the hook, so she knows that when the hook is coming, it's me. And when she realized it was a hook, she was fine. But as you can see, she is doing well. So cute. I'm so obsessed with this little girl. If you haven't noticed, I'm so obsessed with her. But she did eat on Sunday. I hadn't fed her in a couple of weeks because of the regurgitation a few weeks ago. And I tried to feed her, I tried to feed her second. Venus gets fed first because the smell of rats gets her going crazy. So she's like usually at the front of the tub. So I feed Venus first and usually go to her second, mostly because I'm feeding her two fuzzies. So I wanted to get one fuzzy in the beginning of my feeding and then get the other fuzzy in at the end. But since it was just one fuzzy for this week, I still fed her second. But I put the fuzzy in there and, you know, heated up with the hairdryer, blew the scent in and everything, and she didn't come out of hiding. So I just laid the fuzzy in there and continued feeding everybody else. And after a few minutes, I looked down and I looked in her enclosure and I saw her little head peeking out. I was like, oh, that's the response that I wanted. That's the boa response that I wanted to see. So she was looking for the food, and I pulled the fuzzy back out, heated it up a little more, and she snatched it right out of the tongs. So she was ready to eat. And then she snatched it. She went right down into her little hole. I'm assuming she ate it. I didn't see anything just now when I went digging for her, but I didn't pull everything out. But there's no smell in the enclosure. I would imagine there would be a smell after a few days of a decomposing mouse fuzzy. But there's no smell in there, so I'm going to assume that she ate, and we will get her back on her regular feeding this coming weekend with 2 fuzzies. But Katie is looking very good. She's very alert and checking everything out. She's such a sweet baby. I love this snake. I'm so glad I got her. I am so happy that I got her. She's such a sweet girl, aren't you? They have a reputation, and we all know about their reputation. So far, she hasn't lived up to her reputation, and I'm fine with that. I'm sure at some point it will come out. Although I did see, so last weekend, Saturday, I went to pull her out just to check on her since I hadn't seen her in a few days, and it wasn't feeding day, so I wanted to pull her out and check on her and hang out with her for a little bit. And I went to her normal spot where she was hiding. She was there, decided to come out, and if you have vision tubs, or not vision, vision enclosures, you'll know they have a lip under the front window, the front door. Well, she scurried her little butt along the lip, under the under the front door, and came up the other side. So I tried to pull her out, not using the hook. I had my hand. I tried to pull her out with my hand, and she turned around with her mouth open. I'd never, other than her eating, I'd never seen her with her mouth open. She didn't strike at me or anything. She just turned around with her mouth open, and I tapped her on the nose, and she closed her mouth and she just sat there. I don't think she was expecting it. I certainly wasn't expecting that reaction from her. But I don't think she was expecting a little tap on the nose. But I then remembered that I have a snake hook for a reason. She's the reason. And I grabbed the hook and pulled her out, and she was fine. She was absolutely fine. And then we hung out for a little bit. And where are you going? Relax. See, you get all crazy when you don't stay on my arm. So just stay on my arm, please. Yeah, she was fine once I pulled her out with the hook, and there were no issues. I don't know where she's trying to go right now. But she's ready to go. I think the light might be a little too bright for her. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. She's not hiding her head. Some of my ball pythons will hide their head away from the light. But she's just trying to move and do what she does. But this is my update on Katie. As you can see, again, she's doing quite well. Still very active. Still super cute. And she ate for me last week, so I'm going to get her back on her regular feeding schedule this coming weekend. And we'll go from there. I should weigh her, see if she's grown any. Give me a moment, I'll be right back. So she has grown, even going a few weeks without any meals. She is up to 100 grams. I think the last time I weighed her, she was around 94 grams. So she's up to 100 grams, so she is growing, yay. That's good, that's awesome, way to go. Well, again, this is our update on Katie. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe so you can check up on future updates, and also so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on here at Uptown Exotics. Give this video a thumbs up, please. Like this video. If this is the type of content that you're interested in, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my pretty girl. And we will see you next week. Love you. Bye.